Hey everybody, so my name is LaPrecious and welcome to my channel. Let's talk with LaPrecious. So today I'm going to be doing a tarot reading on Summer Walker. Now the thing with Summer Walker is I'm going to be doing a tarot reading not only on the album called Still Over It, but I am going to be doing a reading on Summer Walker's whole energy. Now to be honest, I really like this album from Summer Walker. When Summer Walker first came out, I'm admit I really wasn't into her like that. But then when I started listening to her songs like Girls Need Love and Playing Games, Girls Need Love with Drake is my favorite by far from her. And then, what's this new song that she came out with before the album? X for a Reason. X for a Reason, I'll be honest, when it came to X for a Reason, I didn't like it at first because I felt like too much stuff was going on. But then when I started listening to it and listening to the lyrics and stuff, it became my favorite song. Now, Summer Walker as a person, she's been kind of like weird, quirky, like to me, and a little bit unnecessary, but it's like since her first album, I feel like she's grown a lot, but she makes more sense to me since the first album after the second album as to who she is as a person. Because, when she first came out, she was talking about how she had social anxiety and then she was going through a lot of stuff with London on the track. Then she had this whole fiasco back and forth with the baby mamas and him, and then she was saying all this crazy stuff about how people need to raise their kids, and she turned around and had a baby with London on the track. And I'm going to talk about that too because I just feel like it's some competition, one-upmanship that I feel like went on with the baby mamas and Summer Walker and stuff in that moment. And then you have the album, which is like the aftermath of everything that went on. But the album, I feel like it was written and sung when they was together. So I feel like the Still Over album in a way was like Summer Walker's diary throughout that whole relationship. And I feel like it answers a lot of questions that we kind of already knew based on the social media posts and Instagram, but I feel like we get a deeper look into her feelings about the whole thing. So I'm going to open it up with Spirit of the Universe, Universe within itself. Please give me an accurate reading as to the Still Over It album. Give me the overall energy of this album. Okay, so I'm gonna give like the overall reading of the overall. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give like the overall energy of this Still Over It album. What I'm getting is that with the camel card, is indicating that this album was pretty much her overcoming her battles and overcoming her obstacles, because it seems like she went through a lot of shame and a lot of dis and a lot of, how can I say, unfortunate events of dissatisfaction and a lot of fame and coverage when it came to her relationship with London on the track, because this whole album is pretty much about her and London on the track and the baby mama she had to deal with when it came to being in that relationship. And I did get the bat for her because I felt like Summer Walker also wrote this album because she felt as though his baby mamas were really competing with her. They were trying to take her man from her, and they were pretty much trying to get in his ear. And Spirit is pretty much saying that it was true that a lot of his baby mamas did see how, man, he got Summer Walker. She's like the hottest, neo soul R&B artist out right now. Everybody's talking about her. They're in love. They're everywhere they go. They're together. So maybe I kind of squeeze in and make him remember, why he got with me in the past and whatnot. And I love Summer Walker's song Bitter on the album. I listen to that all the time. And there is a fellow YouTuber named underscore Chloe. She does a hypergamous channel and she makes a lot of videos about hypergamy and women and women's feelings with relationships. And her videos really have a good range of ideas and mindsets and belief systems that kind of come all together and make sense. But I really didn't like her disdain for Summer Walker's album Still Over It, because I felt like she was being hypocritical when she called Summer Walker out. She pretty much said that Summer Walker was punching down women. She was pretty much judging women for being single mothers and whatnot. And I feel like, Chloe, you can't really say Summer Walker is punching down, shaming women when your channel pretty much does the same thing. You pretty much have done videos about women wearing eyelashes that look like mosquitoes coming out their eyes, how women can't entice a man or attract a man if they have college degrees. And you've said a lot of things about women and how they try to vet men and how they try to get men, when women, just like you said with Summer Walker, don't know any better. Well, Chloe, the women that you preach to sometimes don't know any better. And a lot of the things that you say in your videos can be very dismissive and mean and disrespectful and hateful and judgmental and whatnot, like you said Summer Walker was. Now, I'm also seeing where this journey, like the whole album, it was short. Because to be honest, with Summer Walker and this album Still Over It, this album is just like, okay, we're going to run it, make it, and play it back and just put it on the album. It seems like there was not a lot of concentration when it came to this album, because the script pretty much played out on social media for all of us. So it's like, we already know this story, we already know what happened, and we already know what, came to be the end of their relationship, because it seems like London on the Track just was a no good dude or whatever. And, Summer Walker just sung about it and she wrote about it. And Cardi B alluded to it at the end of the song when she played the voicemail of Cardi B saying, you should put this in your music. Don't let these girls get clout off of you. You get clout off of them. And make sure, you put it in your music. You hit them where it hurts so that they can't hit you back. And a lot of people I heard was dissing Cardi B because she wasn't following her own advice. But I felt like Cardi B has followed her advice, because I remember when Summer Bunny, the woman who came out that slept with Offset and slept with A1 from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, who was Lyrica's husband, she tried to make a come up off of sleeping with them. And she even tried to go on the radio and do an interview, and Cardi B shut it down. Cardi B shut it down. She shut that interview down so bad and so fast that I remember Summer Bunny was even crying and like apologizing on live for that. Like Cardi B, she shut that down before anything, because she was like, you ain't finna make money off my name and off of my man because you chose to sleep with him and I'm married to him and you think. And I mean, it is what it is, because I feel like what's happening with society, we lived in such a whole slut culture for so long that we've lost our morals. And I feel like a lot of women, and I'm starting to see Black women, are trying to get us back together with being morally correct and making sure Black women are in a good light and stop giving people who are not respectful or morally respectful or ethically respectful, a lot of shine and a lot of light. And so I feel like that's what this album was indicating too, that, have some type of self-respect and stop thinking that just because you open your legs up to a rapper that you're going to become famous like Black China and Amber Rose and all these other women who done the same thing and kind of came up off of that. And I have to admit that I agree with her about that, because that lifestyle is not in everybody's destiny, and it's not meant for everybody to come up off of a man or off of sex the way that other women have in the industry. And I see the club, Summer Walker, in this situation when it came to this album, she was experiencing a lot of pressure. And I can admit that, because I mean, you called out London, you even said his name in the song, and you called out Young Thug in the song as well. And the Spirit is saying Summer Walker got a lot of pressure to shut up, to like not even talk about this stuff, because it was gonna make, create a lot of buzz, and it was gonna start a lot of problems and whatnot. And Summer Walker was like, F that. Like, I'm gonna do what I want to do. This is my album. This is who I am. And I'm all about being, neo soul, spiritually in intuitive, and all about being in my feelings. That's what makes me Summer Walker. And it's indicating that this caused her to be very creative about this album because she was able to mix in her feelings, to mix in the birth of her daughter, to mix in, her struggles and whatnot. And it's indicating that it really made her who she was as a person in that moment, taking all her experiences and just putting them together. But it's also saying that by us listening to this album, that Summer Walker was not happy with her life in this relationship. She felt like this shattered vase throughout the whole relationship because she felt like such a mix of emotions where she was, yeah, this is my man, yeah, you can't have him, yeah, he's mine. But at the same time, it's like outside of Instagram and the text messages and bucking up to these girls, she's not happy in this relationship because London is not there for her mentally or emotionally. It has been, rumored that the relationship was physically abusive as well. And there was just a lot of dissatisfaction going on within this relationship. And then she mixing a baby on top of that. Now, my thing is with Summer Walker, the baby didn't have to happen. I felt like Summer Walker, she mixed in the baby with this whole ordeal to try to one up the baby mamas because she was making statements how people should only be able to feed their children off of $20 a week by simply buying them apples and pears and mixing it in a blender and making baby food out of that. And then she was pretty much saying how women need to stop having babies by men that's not going to take care of them. And she got a lot of backlash for that because she didn't have kids. And I felt like she got pregnant with her daughter on purpose to try to say, haha, I'm pregnant now, so now y'all can't say I can't say nothing about people with kids because now I have a kid. But I felt like Summer she paid for it because even though she was able to one up and shut everybody down once she got pregnant, she didn't get the satisfaction of being taken care of by a man like she should have while being pregnant and being in a relationship with him. And I do see where she had a younger man. Spirit is saying her current boyfriend encouraged her to write this album and encouraged her to get that energy out of her and onto the album and made it so it could sell and create a buzz because she needed to get this out of her energy. She needed to get it off her spirit because she knew that if she didn't get these ill feelings and the resentment and the hurt and the pain off her, it was going to affect her career and affect her music and whatnot. And she really didn't want that. And her boyfriend was saying how, you need to get this off of you. You're Summer Walker. You have a lot going for yourself. People have been waiting for you to put out an album since Over It. And you need to come up with like a sequel or really with like a continuation of Over It and tell like your path and whatnot. And I feel like Summer Walker, she could do like a trilogy, like Over It was pretty much her breakout album, where she was like in her feelings about how she's tired of men playing games, how women need love too, and how men take us through different things and how we should think of ourselves as higher beings and whatnot. We got to know Summer Walker and her true feelings and stuff. But it's like now we're getting the grown up Summer Walker who came into this world as Summer Walker as a spiritually in tune, new generation neo soul. Because you have her, SZA, Janae Aiko, and Kalani that kind of fit that new makeup of that. And then it's like she got into a relationship with London on the Track, who's like a high profile music producer and whatnot. And it's like now we're seeing the mature adult Summer Walker. And so I feel like her next album should be either something different or maybe like a follow up of Still Over It and how she's overcome a lot of those things and how she's on a different path and ready to make new moves as well as like a different tone of music. Now, Spirit of the Universe itself, what astral house is this album in? It's all about the money when it came to this album. Spirit is saying that when she did this album, she knew that the album was going to make a lot of money pretty much because it was an open book. The album pretty much talks about the whole relationship between her and London on the Track, the baby mama ordeal, how she feels about. I remember Future was mentioned and how Young Thug was involved and London on the Track, and then talking about his mama and whatnot. So it was pretty much an open book where we didn't have to guess and check, what happened, or listen to blogs or go on gossip YouTube and try to figure stuff out. She just pretty much told the whole story from her own account because she's the one everybody's talking about in a relationship. And she knew that this was going to gain her a lot of attention and a lot of clout. And it honestly made her a lot of money. Now, Spirit of the Universe in itself, when it comes to Summer Walker, what exactly was the time frame of this album? How long did it take? It only took like a couple of months because I'm getting June. So in the month of June, that's really when she started writing. Now, Summer Walker actually had a whole catalog for this album. It's like she made up to Spirit is saying 30 songs for this album. And I'm not sure how many songs are on the album. I think it's maybe 20. I know it's a lot of songs on the album. Most albums tend to have maybe 10 or 12. And a lot of times, if it is 12, it's like a bonus track and then like a remix of one of the original songs on the album. But Summer Walker had wrote a lot of songs for this album and just chose to pick like the best ones that she made for this album. So yeah, it only took Summer Walker a couple of months to make this album. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read Summer Walker's current energy between her and London on the Track to see how their relationship is at this moment. Because even though she may not be in a relationship with London on the Track, she's still linked to him because they have a child together. So that's the only thing that really links them together with that. Spirit of the universe in itself, when it comes to Summer Walker and London on the Track, what is the current energy between them? It just feels like this whole relationship, the energy that is between them right now is that it was just a bad investment. I'm getting like double, 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 like confirmation with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse and with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse that this relationship, it was a bad investment. It just wasn't a good idea for them to be together. It was good so far as looks were concerned, but it just wasn't a good idea, like mentally, physically, or emotionally, for them two to be together. And it wasn't all that satisfying. It was unfortunate. A lot of money was lost in time, and it was more so of a drain than a gain with this relationship. I'm seeing where there was a lot of betrayals that went on. Summer Walker especially went through a lot of hurt and pain in this relationship because she was maintaining the image of being like the happy girlfriend and whatnot for the cameras, but it just wasn't a good look. Now I do see where there is a potential breakthrough between these two, but it's saying that there's still a lot of smoke and mirrors and cloudiness and whatnot in the relationship between them two, because in order for them to be together again romantically, if they wanted to, somebody would have to take a chance. Either Summer or London would have to take a chance on being with each other once again. But I do see where somebody's going to have to make a hard decision, where some decisions are going to have to be made, and some changes are going to have to be made. And then with the Four of Cups is indicating that there's going to be like a lot of options as to how they can make the relationship work. Maybe an open relationship may be best. Maybe a closed relationship would be best. Maybe being together in private may be the answer. But it's saying if they were to do that, there will be some options as to how they can make the relationship better. So now I'm going to be doing a reading on Summer Walk's energy as to how she feels now, like her overall energy since the album has come out, the aftermath of the relationship, and her current relationship. I'm going to be honest, when it comes to her relationship with her current boyfriend, he's an unknown rapper. He raps and whatnot, but he's not as famous or nowhere near famous as London on the Track. And I don't know what it is because I see this a lot with a lot of female rappers and entertainers like Trina and I want to say Summer Walker and a couple others. They just don't seem to be interested in dating men on their level. I guess that by them dating producers and rappers before and it didn't work out and they got cheated on and embarrassed, they probably figured if they date someone who's less famous and more so humble, then they probably could be treated better. So I guess that's what it may look like to me. Cause I do kind of side eye a little bit, cause I'm like, how could you be a Summer Walker or a Trina or somebody of high status and you're dating or married to someone that's not on the same level? Spirit of the universe in itself, what is Summer Walker's overall energy after this new album and in her current new relationship and the aftermath of her daughter and London on the Track? Mm. I'm getting like double confirmation again about the whole aftermath. It's like Summer Walker is looking back at her past. It's saying with the Eight of Wands when it comes to this current relationship, she's just going with the flow. So with her new boyfriend that's in her life, she's going with the flow and kind of like, okay, we're just going with the flow and seeing how this works. Because I don't think that he's the guy for her based on looking at these cards and her energy. It's just something for like the time being and whatnot. When it comes to the Ace of Wands, I'm getting that there's not a lot of luck. There's not a lot of luck, not a lot of wisdom, not a lot of it's just not a lot of wisdom and whatnot coming out of this whole thing. It's just not a smart idea to date someone like that, like the kind of person that she is. And with the Page of Cups in reverse, what I'm getting is that he's not financially offering her anything. He's not offering her any opportunities and like that. Spirit is giving saying to me that he's more so like a stunt double in a way. It's like he's a stand-in guy for a boyfriend, and he's not really like all that serious with Summer Walker. And I'm getting once again that Summer Walker knows that her relationship with London on the Track, and even some of her decisions, like with her like with her record label and the whole 360 deal. I believe she supposedly signed, and I think Summer Walker did get a better deal this time around, but she just sees how she's made a lot of bad investments in people, in management, and in money. I do see where she's starting to take herself more seriously, and she's starting to get more people around her who take her career seriously and who want to see her do well and want to see her make better decisions for herself and better decisions for her career, because Summer Walker can rock a house all on her own. And Summer Walker can stand tall and be her own woman and have her own crown and her own throne. And she's the king of making the right decisions when it comes to her music and whatnot. But Spirit is saying above all else that by her putting all this energy into her album and whatnot, it's made her have a lot of options because she has been on TV, she's been mentioned on YouTube. She's had so much praise and rave over this album where they're now considering it the album of the year, the highest charting R&B album on iTunes history. You know, she's had a lot of high numbers, a lot of high ratings, a lot of high record sales with this new album, and it's opened up a lot of doors and a lot of opportunities for her to choose from by her simply putting this album out. It was a really beautiful art of work. It was a good catalog, a good song selection, and it really gave us like the different intricacies of Summer Walker. So that's one of the biggest accomplishments she's made and the biggest blessings and whatnot. But when it comes to this relationship and her past decisions and whatnot, she knows that she still needs a little work. So that's all I have right now for my Summer Walker video. I hope you guys like this video. Leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and promote my YouTube videos so that I can do more readings on celebrities, personal readings for people, and also do more spiritual work videos as well. Have a good day.